Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching News Channel Nebraska. It is Wednesday, November 6th. My name's Andrew Pfeiffer. Let's take a look at the latest headlines. It's now official. Donald Trump has won the 2024 presidential election. Trump defeated running mate Kamala Harris, tallying over 277 of the electoral votes. Trump won the key battleground states late last night, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Trump is now only the second person in U.S. history to win two non-consecutive terms as commander-in-chief. And as for Vice President Kamala Harris, her campaign says she won't speak during the overnight hours. And as for Congress, CNN projects Republicans have won enough Senate seats to have majority in the chamber next year. The House is still too close to call. Nebraska voters decisively chose between the state's two conflicting abortion measures. AP called results for initiatives 439 just before 2:30 a.m. Wednesday, showing that voters rejected the right to abortion ballot initiative with a total of 462,756 votes. Initiative 434 had been called more than 2 hours earlier, receiving 496,586 votes for and 401,000 votes against, with Nebraska voting to keep the existing abortion restrictions in place. While it's now moot, conflicting ballot measures set the stage for closer examination of each initiative's vote totals. Election night played out much like it did in 2022's Nebraska contentious 2nd congressional district race, with incumbent Republican Representative Don Bacon in a tight contest with former state Senator Tony Vargas of Omaha. And just like in 2022, when Bacon won by 2 points, the race has come down to the last few thousand votes. Bacon has held the seat for 4 election cycles since he's defeated Brad Ashford in 2016. The same year Vargas was elected to the Nebraska legislature. Bacon currently holds a small lead of only 8,318 votes. Bacon has so far secured a total of 153,191 votes. A majority of Nebraskans voted Tuesday to embrace legalizing and regulating medical cannabis, though the final say will likely be up to the courts. Both initiative measures 437 and 438 to legalize and regulate medical cannabis had a wide margin of support statewide. The measures came from the Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana campaign. This was the campaign's third attempt to reach the ballot. Whether medical cannabis becomes legal in the state post-election, however, depends on the outcome or legal challenges currently playing out in Lancaster County District Court. District Judge Susan Strong is weighing legal arguments following a 4-day trial about the validity of tens of thousands of already validated signatures on each measure's petition for ballot access. Her decision isn't expected for at least 2 weeks. Voters on Tuesday resoundingly rejected Nebraska's new school voucher program, steering public dollars spent to public schools. Supporters of using state tax dollars to offset the costs of a private K-12 education have argued that families are unhappy with their public schools and they need more options. But rural and urban supporters of public schools, the Nebraska State Education Association, and private foundations supporting public schools won the day, voting to repeal LB 1402. The $10 million appropriation was being run through State Treasurer Tom Breese's office. It remains to be seen whether other lawmakers will offer a similar proposal in 2025. Two of the 1402's Loud's proponents, Senator Lou Ann Leinen and Justin Wayne, are both term limited. Nebraska employers will now be required to provide earned paid sick leave for eligible employees through a ballot issue passed Tuesday. Advocates had estimated that 250,000 Nebraskans were working full-time without paid sick days. However, passage of Initiative 436 means that eligible employees now will have the right to earn sick time for personal or family health needs. The issue had about 75% support. Under the ballot initiative, employers with fewer than 20 employees must provide up to 40 hours of sick leave annually, and larger employees with 20 or more must provide up to 56 hours. And Republican U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts of Nebraska won the Tuesday election with the seat he was appointed to nearly 2 years ago. The former two-term Nebraska governor defeated Democratic challenger Preston Love Jr., an 81-year-old longtime community activist in Omaha. Love had painted Ricketts, one of the wealthiest members in the U.S. Senate, as privileged and out of touch with most voters, but Ricketts easily prevailed in the heavily conservative state. Ricketts will serve out of the remaining 2 years of his 6-year term, left vacant by former Republican Senator Ben Sasse, who resigned in 2022. And Republican Representative Adrian Smith won re-election to the U.S. House seat representing Nebraska's vast rural 3rd Congressional District on Tuesday. The win gives Smith a 10th term. Smith faced little challenge from Democrat Daniel Ebers, a political newcomer and farmer from Overton. That's in keeping with Smith's wins over the last several cycles. He ran unopposed in 2016 and won the next 3 elections with nearly 80% of the vote. Smith is considered one of the most conservative members of Congress and represents one of the country's most conservative congressional districts. Former President Donald Trump won Nebraska, but for the 2nd straight election, he lost one of the state's 5 electoral college votes from the Omaha area. Vice President Kamala Harris beat Trump soundly Tuesday in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. The district includes all of Douglas and Saunders counties and parts of suburban Sarpy County. Democrats and Republicans split the past 4 presidential elections in the 2nd district, with Democrats winning the district in 2020 and 2008. The Republicans won it in 2016 and 2012. Trump's team spent much of the spring and summer urging Nebraska lawmakers to change state law and award all of its electoral college votes in a so-called winner-take-all vote. Governor Jim Pillen was prepared to call a special legislative session, but did not secure the 33 votes to do so to overcome a promised filibuster. It's National Diabetes Month, and the CDC estimates more than 38 million Americans of all ages have diabetes, and experts say millions of people who have it are undiagnosed. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains what to know about the disease and why early detection is critical.
It's a chronic disease when a person's blood sugar is too high. Diabetes is common, but many don't know they have it.
For a long time, diabetes, hypertension were both known as what are called silent diseases, meaning they are affecting your body and causing long-term damage before you start to have a lot of physical symptoms.
Dr. Brent Smith with the American Academy of Family Physicians says that's why early detection and intervention is critical to slow or even prevent diabetes progression. So he says to be aware of the red flags.
It's increased thirst and increased urination. So when you're a diabetic and you have this extra sugar floating around in your system, your body tends to get rid of it through your urine.
In addition to increased thirst and urination, Smith says to also watch out for signs like sluggishness, general malaise, or not feeling like yourself. But he says before symptoms start, it's important to see a doctor to be screened and evaluated for diabetes risk.
We would all be a lot happier treating and preventing it than we would be dealing with the consequences of uncontrolled diabetes or other medical conditions.
Smith says managing your weight can reduce risk of type 2 diabetes. Do that by having a healthy diet, cutting out simple sugars as much as possible, and regular exercise.
And the recommendation for exercise is a total of 150 minutes over the course of the week, which breaks down to about 30 minutes of a brisk walk or cardiovascular exercise 5 days a week.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Donald Trump has secured a historic 2nd term in the White House. A crucial win in the battleground state of Wisconsin early this morning put him over the top of the 270 electoral votes he needed. No word yet on the Harris campaign since results started rolling in Tuesday. Ivan Rodriguez is in West Palm Beach, Florida, where President Trump watched results come in at his Mar-a-Lago home.
Please welcome President-elect Donald J. Trump.
Former President Donald Trump, now projected president-elect, is the 2nd person in U.S. history with 2 non-consecutive terms as commander-in-chief. It was a win he started celebrating earlier with supporters.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
And he'll have a Republican Senate with him after the GOP secured enough seats to take control of that chamber. Vice President Kamala Harris watched the results come in with family, friends, and hundreds of supporters at her alma mater, Howard University.
So you won't hear from the vice president tonight?
Her campaign co-chair telling the crowd late Tuesday the vice president is expected to speak publicly later today. A source close to the campaign told CNN just hours ago Harris's team is processing its strengths and weaknesses. President-elect Donald Trump giving his preview of a second term.
I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people.
In West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
You can stay up to date on the very latest on our website at newschannelnebraska.com. Just click on the News tab. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for joining us, and have a happy Wednesday.